Joe here. I hope you're well. This video is going to be focused on how I started a plastic recycling factory here in Ghana, and to keep you up to date of what is going on. So I'm going to be sharing stories and progress reports and milestones, where we are, the good stuff, the ugly stuff, everything, right? So if you don't know my story, I'm a Ghanaian born, lived in Ghana till the age of 10. My mother took me to the UK, me and my brother. So I've been living in the UK for over 30 years. I came to Ghana to start businesses because eventually I want to settle here. So I identified an opportunity with plastic recycling. Why did I start a plastic recycling?
The first one would be environmental protection. Unfortunately, plastic waste is everywhere in Ghana. You find it on the streets, you find it on the sidewalk, pavement, you find it in the rivers, sea. It's everywhere. It's not just in Ghana, Africa, the whole world. Plastic waste is a problem. It needs to be managed. So, getting involved in plastic recycling is an opportunity to make Ghana and keep Ghana clean, and as we recycle. And the second one would be resource conservation, because every time, if you're not recycling, that means you have to get raw materials to recycle and make new plastic product from. So by recycling, we are conserving the raw materials, right? And using it well. And the third one would be reducing emissions, because if we are recycling has lower emissions than opposed to creating new plastic products from raw materials. So when you do that, then if you were to use raw materials to create new plastic products, then we are emitting high levels of emissions from the fossil fuel. So that's one of the big disadvantages. So and last but not least would be employment. Maybe I just put those two together. Having the opportunity to make money as well as employ people in Ghana, which is, I'm really passionate about that, because before when I was running a recruitment agency, I had the opportunity to employ up to 22 people here in Ghana, and I would love to do the same here with plastic recycling. So I'm hoping to one day employ up to 100 and above, right? God willing, touch wood and all that. So, and in terms of the economic side, obviously you can make good money recycling plastic products. You can make about 20 to 30 profit margins, and sometimes more, depending on obviously your overheads and all that. So it's something I've identified, I've started, I'm doing it. There's been a lot of challenges. So I'm going to be going through, updates, where I am with it, the bad, the ugly. I'm gonna walk you through everything that I'm doing, what I'm learning. So maybe I can also get into how I actually started it. Well, I started it by, first of all, obviously finding out that there's something I could do. When I looked around the environment and I started to research how people are recycling plastic here in Ghana. This industry is being dominated by foreigners, the Chinese, Indian, Lebanese. There are Ghanaian companies, don't get me wrong, but I think the biggest players are foreigners. So I want to be part of that and really make something really huge that employs people and makes good money, keeps the environment clean. So once I did my research in terms of the supply versus demand, and I realized it's in high demand, it was a no-brainer. So I contacted a couple of people who are already in the industry. There was a plastic recycling operator and someone who's more technical on the engineering side. They gave me the breakdown of how much things cost and all that. So the first thing I need to sort out is where the location I'm going to be doing the factory. Fortunately for me, back in 2017, I bought an acre of land. It's where I'm actually doing the video from. I bought an acre of land at Kaswa. At the time, I bought 4 plots and added 2 later, and each plot cost me 5,000 Ghana cedis, and then I added 2 more, costing me 8,000 Ghana cedis, like 400 cedis. So the whole thing altogether cost, for the acre of land, 6 plots, cost me, let's say, 28,000 Ghana cedis. I will put the dollar equivalent on the screen. So, but now, if you were to buy a plot of land in this area, it will cost you no less than 30,000 Ghana cedis. So, once I got the land, the location, I had to show it to the people with the most experience, which is the operator and the engineer. So they came onto the site and they said, "Oh yeah, we can do it." So I also had to go and consult environmental protection, because obviously eventually I will have to get a permit from them. So I had to consult them for them to come and inspect the area to see if it's okay to do it. And then I went through, and then I had to go to the municipal assembly and all that kind of stuff and get that done. And then what I needed to do next was to order the recycling machine, which is the plastic pelletizing machine. It kind of turns the waste into kind of little rice pellets or whatever. And then, so there are different ways to make money within the recycling industry, especially plastic recycling, which is what I'm focused on. People make money by just collecting the waste materials on the streets, in waters, in the gutter, wherever they can get it, and they sell it on to recycling factories like myself, and then the recycling factory will obviously recycle it, melt it, and turn it into plastic pellets, and they will probably sell it on to other plastic manufacturing companies who might be turning that into plastic bowls, plastic chairs, plates, whatever, or takeaway bags. So that is where I decided to start by buying a plastic pelletizing machine, which cost me at the time $17,000 or $19,000. I forgot. I'll double check on that. And I had to, so the next question was, okay, where can I get this machine? Because it's not readily available in Ghana unless you was going to buy it used. And if you are going to start this business, I don't really recommend to go and buy a used machine. I made that mistake by buying, used extruders and cutting machine, which I don't think it was a good idea to do now. So just like the recycling machine that I bought brand new, especially if you are starting, please buy new machine so that you don't have to go through the hassle of things breaking down and damping your spirit. So if I could do everything all over again, especially with the extruder machine and the cutting machine, I would have got it brand new. It just, obviously you're spending more money, but I think it's less headache down the line. So yeah, as a FYI, that's what I would do differently. So once the people came to inspect the land, and then I ordered the machine. They said, we went to this Chinese company at Accra Circle, and then we got the Chinaman to order it for us, where I was to pay 70% deposit, and then when the machine arrived, I paid the remaining 30% and then take my machine. So that's exactly what we did. When the machine came, we went to collect it, paid my 30% deposit, balance that was remaining, and picked the machine. We brought it to the factory. Actually, before I jumped too much of that, another thing that I needed to do was bring electricity, because there was no power in the area. So I had to buy 3 electric poles, buy wires, cables, and then to bring electricity, get a meter and all that. So I finally did that, started when the machine came, and that was a challenge when the machine came to the site, because my compound or the factory, the grounds are not tiled. So we had a challenge, taking the machine inside the factory. And obviously I didn't have a factory, so we started, once we got a permit, then we started to build the factory. We started to build something, which was, we made it out of the base. We made the base with blocks and then the top plywood. But in future we will turn all the walls into blocks. I think it's much more safer that way going forward. So that's what I'm gonna do. So once we got the factory built, got the power, electricity done, got the machine set up by the engineer, we needed to test the machine, so which means we needed some raw materials, waste to test it. So I bought some materials from a guy that actually was helping me in the beginning. He's also an operator. However, he cheated me in terms of by inflating the prices. Back then, the price of PP material was like 1 cedi per kg, but this guy charged me 2 cedis, 50 pesos per kg. Obviously, I didn't know. You live and learn. So these are some of the frustrations that can, if you're not careful, can dampen your spirit. But we moved on to the testing phase. We test the machines working. Then I needed to hire people. So I hired, I think we started with 4 or 5 people. No, we started with, let's say 4 people. And then, we went ahead and started making the plastic pellets and started selling it to other plastic manufacturing companies that would turn it into plastic chairs, plastic bowls, whatever they would do with it. But right now, what I'm focused on is to, I've acquired machines, and that will enable us to do the finished or the end product, so we can sell it directly to the buyers who have maybe wholesale shop outlets that they will also go and sell it on. So like I said, plastic recycling is definitely a good opportunity to create employment, make money, keep the environment clean. So to me, it was a no-brainer. Going forward, like I said, I'm going to keep you up to date with everything that is happening, both good and bad. So please like, subscribe, comment. See you in the next video.